Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Schneider's Golf. My name is Eric Schneider, and today we are going to be dredging our ponds here at Schneider's Bluff Golf Course in West Point, Utah. Now let's talk a little bit about pond maintenance and the things that go into maintaining ponds on a golf course. We have a lot of farmland close to our golf course here. The silt runs off of the farmland and runs through the irrigation systems here in West Point. And this pond in particular fills up with a lot of silt and topsoil. And what started out as probably a 6-foot deep pond has ended up becoming only about a foot deep over all the years of accumulation. So today, Mr. Crowley has the backhoe. We're just doing a little bit of light maintenance. If you were to do this for reals, you'd want to rent a large track hoe or a long arm track hoe. We're just doing some very basic maintenance to try and clear up some of the spots where we're getting a lot of water weed and cattails, and to make it look a little more like a pond and not an overgrowth of weeds. We're gonna hop right in. I'm gonna show you some of the machinery that we're using, kind of the process that we're going through. We have a pile over here where we're dumping the tailings or the mud that we're dredging out, and then we have our backhoe over here. This here is part of the pond that hasn't been dug out yet, and as you can see over here, we get these long grasses that start growing inside of the bank of the pond. You can see the bank would be this area right here, and these weeds here are unsightly and they start encroaching in. Part of what causes that is we have muskrats here that cave the bank in. So some of this is long grass that has actually just started growing in the ponds. Some of it is actually like pond weeds that grow in water. You can see we have a lot of moss here on the banks. That will start to grow in and fills in and can mess up our irrigation. We obviously can't reach all the way out into the middle of the pond, but we can do a little bit here on the banks to clean them up and make it so that we don't get as much water weed and moss in the middle of the summer when it's hot. Winter's kind of the ideal time for us to do projects like this. Twofold, because our workers aren't, maintaining the golf course. It's not as crazy as in the middle of the summer with watering and all the things that go into maintenance. And two, the ground is a lot more frozen, so we can drive heavy machinery back and forth and we don't mess up the fairway. If we leak a little bit of mud on the bank, as I'll show you, it's got time to be cleaned up. It's not in the middle of the season. So that's kind of why we do these types of projects in the winter. Mr. Crowley, the backhoe operator.
I've been driving truck for a long time.
Be serious. What are you doing today?
We're digging out the pond. The pond is full of silt and sludge and God knows what else. Pedals,
move the bucket
levers. I usually just push whatever until it does something.
Bring a scoop in here quick.
Oh yeah, that's a big one. Look at that. Oh.
Look at all that. Get it.
God, reminds me of the day after Betos.
All right, the tractor comes to this point here, and this is where we're dumping our mud at. As you can see, there's kind of a mix. We have some really dark mud, we have some lighter mud that has clay mixed in, and then we have a couple loads here that are just almost straight grass and mud kind of mixed together. So what we do with this is some of these spots on the golf course where we have a little less character, like we have less hills and undulations, we'll bring all that pond mud up here, and we'll start to turn this into kind of some rolling hills up in here. There's several features on this golf course that have been made this way. In fact, a lot of the hills and stuff that we have are from where we dug the ponds out, and then we piled up a hill of dirt, and then we grew grass on top of it. We're making a little bit of a mound here. This is going to become something else. It's not just gonna stay this flat rough. This was really the consistency of the dirt, a lot of it, when we built the golf course back in the mid-90s. I remember my dad saying that he could pull the dirt out and he thought he could throw a pot with it, throw it in a kiln and fire a pot with the clay that we have here in West Point. What is it? Is it a putter? Yeah. Gross. So that's kind of the process that we go through to clean the ponds out, get the grass out. There's a lot of crap that comes in and flows in through our pipes, so this is something that we have to do on a fairly regular basis. Thank you for being here. Hope you learned something new. Hope that you can get out and play some golf. I will see you next time. Take care.